Would you like to have your luckiest year yet? If you said yes, then you're going to want to stick around for today's episode of Wisdom Wednesday. Welcome to Wisdom Wednesday with Sara Mae. I'm Sara Mae. I am a life coach, an energy healer, and I am the founder and instructor of Empowered Empaths Academy. It is my goal to help as many empaths as possible to wake up to their light, to release their trauma, and to step into their most authentic selves so they can live the lives of their dreams based in unconditional love and filled with lasting happiness. As part of that goal, every Wednesday, I have a new episode of Wisdom Wednesday where I share some of my wisdom with you. Thank you so much for being here today. Whether you're live or on the replay, please say hello in the comments below. I always love to know who is adding to the collective energy. Hello, Krista. Hello, Jenny. Hello, Sarah. Hello, Valerie. Oh, hello, everybody. I am live in a few different locations, so I'm not sure exactly how that is going to work when it comes to comments. So I'm hoping that I'm going to see everybody's comments here today as I usually do. Now, before we get started, let's take a second to really get here. Let's take a breath and allow ourselves to really be present in this moment and present for this session. What I like to do is I like to take a deep grounding breath in through my nose and a clearing breath out through my mouth. And I invite you to do that with me now. Wonderful. Let's get started. Today, we are talking about how you can make 2024 your luckiest year yet. Do you consider yourself to be a lucky person? You may have heard about lucky girl syndrome. This is something that I personally like to refer to as lucky soul syndrome because it's not just for girls. But if you identify as a girl, you are more than welcome to call yourself a lucky girl, lucky boy, lucky day, lucky whomever you want. Lucky souls, lucky girls. I love this. Lucky girl syndrome is something that has come out recently, and it's hit big. It's all over social media. Who has heard about it? Put lucky girl in the comments if you have heard about the lucky girl syndrome. Lucky girl syndrome is nothing new. It really isn't. It is manifestation. It is the law of attraction. It is the law of assumption. And it's all repackaged into a shiny new package that personally I'm into. Imagine waking up every day with an unfaltering belief that good things are coming your way. Imagine walking through life with the confidence and knowing that you're destined for fortune, for happiness, for success, knowing that you're smart enough, good enough, confident enough. This is what it means to be a lucky soul. And this belief, this mindset, unfortunately, isn't something that we are all born into. Often it's something that we need to create for ourselves. But no worries, if you don't already have this mindset, I want you to know that there are all kinds of tools and techniques that you can and should use so you can activate lucky soul syndrome within yourself. So I want to start by asking you a question, right? Today we're going to talk about activating lucky soul syndrome using the art of delusion. Using the art of delusion. So let's start by asking a question. How often do you lie to yourself? How often do you lie to yourself? On a scale of 0 being I never lie to myself to 10, I lie to myself 10,000 times a day. How often do you lie to yourself? Now you might be thinking, I don't lie to myself. I'm honest with myself, right? Or maybe you're thinking, I lie to myself every so often, but I don't lie to myself that often. And I'm seeing some numbers. I see a 4. I see a 2. These are some pretty low numbers, guys. I see a 1. Okay. So you guys don't think you lie to yourself that often. I think you lie to yourself more often than you think. I think you do. And when do I think that you're lying to yourself? I think that if you're not living a lucky girl life, you're lying to yourself all the time. When you wake up, are you telling yourself that you're going to have an amazing day? Or are you begrudging the day ahead of you, right? If you have anxiety, if you're an overthinker, if you're someone who goes through the worst case scenario all the time, right? You are lying to yourself all day long. Think about it. When you tell yourself, oh my gosh, this terrible thing is going to happen. I'm going to get in a car accident on the way to work. When you tell yourself all the terrible things you think can happen to your loved one on the way home from work because they are, taking an extra 5 minutes to get home, and you start doing that disaster thinking, right? You're lying to yourself because that's not actually happened. How often do we think that these terrible things are going to happen and they don't happen? But we told ourselves they were going to happen, right? How often do we tell ourselves that someone is going to reject us or be mean to us or get mad at us, right? How often do we do that? I know that is something that I used to worry about all the time. Oh my gosh, they're going to be so mad at me. What if I upset them? Right? If you are thinking like this, if these are the thoughts that are running through your head, you are lying to yourself all day long, because turn around and look at it. Do those things happen? The majority of the time, they do not. We think we have thoughts. We are obsessed with thoughts of things that we do not want and things that are not actually happening. Okay. So I want to tell you, when I talk about the art of delusion and you're thinking, like, how does being delusional help anything? I want you to know that you are already delusional. You are already telling yourself all kinds of things that aren't necessarily true. You're sitting there every day telling yourself these terrible things about yourself, telling yourself that you're not good enough, that you're a bad person, that the world is working against you, that you're never going to get ahead, right? Who has said those things to themselves? I know one thing that was really profound for me in my life is when I was younger, I always thought that I was ugly. I thought that I wasn't an attractive person. I found all kinds of things to pick on myself about my appearance. And I really told myself all the time that I was ugly. And I thought that I must have thought it, 100,000 times looking in the mirror every single day. Right. And then I had children. And my beautiful, gorgeous children look exactly like me. They look exactly like me. And I had these beautiful children, and I looked at them and I could not deny their beauty, right? I could look in the mirror and I could deny my beauty for years. That's what I did for decades. I did that, right? But then when I had this beautiful child in front of me, I could not deny their beauty. And as they grew, I could not deny how beautiful they were at all ages, in all stages. And when I was looking at them and then looking at me and looking at pictures of me and seeing, we looked exactly alike. I realized that I had been delusional my entire life. I actually was beautiful. I was beautiful. I just didn't know it. And I didn't allow myself to see that. So that's a delusion that I carried with me for decades. And I was blessed to be able to let that go, but we all do this to ourselves, right? How many of you have looked at a picture of yourself when you were younger and thought, oh my goodness, I can't believe I used to think X, Y, or Z about myself back then? Put picture in the comments below. It is 111, everybody. Make a wish. Put picture in the comments below if you have ever looked at a past picture of yourself and thought, oh my gosh, I can't believe I thought I was fat. I can't believe I thought I was ugly. Oh my gosh, look how cute I was as a little kid, right? I know I've absolutely done that. And if you have done that, that means that you too have spent a significant amount of time lying to yourself. And I suggest that we switch this delusion up and we use it to benefit us, right? So let's talk about how we're going to do that. Well, first of all, we need to know the basics, right? Those thoughts that you're having, those thoughts that you're not good enough, those thoughts that something terrible is going to happen, that thought that you're going to get looked over for the promotion, the thought that no one's going to match you on Tinder, whatever thought that you have going about your head, right? That thought is creating a vibration. And that vibration is like a giant magnet that you are holding that attracts things that match the vibration to you, right? So if you are having thoughts that you don't like, if you are thinking about and constantly creating a reality in your head that doesn't match what you want, you're going to get things that you don't like. Does that make sense? So the solution is to put the things that we want in our head. Does that make sense? Yes. I try not to do that. I catch myself. Good. That's exactly what I want you to do. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. So that's the first step, catching yourself, right? But then what do you do with it when you catch yourself, right? So what we're doing is we're looking at our thoughts. And here this person is thinking about happiness, luck, love, and money. I'm happy. I'm loved. I'm lucky. I'm abundant, right? That's what this person is thinking. And they are attracting into their life love and luck and happiness and abundance, right? And this is how we want to be. This is a beautiful image. I'm going to share this with you guys so you can keep this and remember, this is what I want in my head, right? So how are we going to do that? We're going to do that by creating this delusional mindset and letting ourselves know, telling ourselves over and over again that we are blessed. We are loved. We are lucky. We are happy. We are abundant. I am a lucky person. I am the luckiest person I know. I'm a lucky girl, right? We are going to replace these thoughts that I am not good enough with I am lucky, that I am not worthy with I am loved, right? That's what we're going to do so we can attract it into our lives. Now, a concern when we're talking about this is often toxic positivity. That's what people say to me, Sarah, isn't that toxic positivity? Isn't that toxic positivity when you are saying, it's just turning around and saying that everything's good? And that is not at all what I'm suggesting right now, okay? I'm not saying if something upsetting happens in your life to tell yourself that you're lucky and everything is good. Of course, you're going to deal with the moments in your life. You're going to have times where it makes sense to be angry and times where it makes sense to be sad and times where you need to grieve. And those times, absolutely, we're going to experience those emotions when they come up. But all the other times when we wake up, when we're going throughout our day, we're not going to have this negative track going around in our heads over and over again. right? Does that make sense? Who has a negative track running through their head? Put negative in the comments below. If you have a negative voice going through your head all day, saying things to you, saying things that you don't want to hear, telling you you're not worthy. Now, if you're resonating with this, I want you to know that it's not your fault if this is the way that your thinking is programmed. It's not your fault if this is the way your thinking works. Okay. According to studies, by the time a neurodivergent child turns 12 years old, they hear 20,000 more negative, corrective, or critical messages than the average neurotypical child. This is also true and can be even higher for children who grow up in abusive, narcissistic, or highly critical households. 20,000 more times, right? For children that are neurodivergent or in an abusive, narcissistic, or highly critical household. That's on top of it. If you're told something 20,000 times, if you're told a lie 20,000 times, it makes sense that you are going to believe it. Okay. So that's where this program came from. And I don't want you to feel guilty that you've been sitting there living in negativity, living in this lie, right? This lie of delusion for decades, because I want to let you know that you have the power, you have the ability to change it, you have the ability to flip it around. And that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about this ability that we have to be delusional that we're so good at. We are so good at this. We have been doing this for a very long time, and we've gotten very good at it. We've gotten so good that we see the evidence of it out in our lives, right? I'm not worthy. I'm never going to get a promotion. And here you are living a life where, sure enough, you've never gotten a promotion. I'm not worthy. Nobody's ever going to love me. And sure enough, you don't have a partner. You haven't had luck and love, right? You provide the proof because you're so good at this. That's why the voice in your head matches your life, is because you're so good at this art of delusion that you have manifested everything that you're thinking about into your life. So now we're going to talk about flipping that around using the art of reframing. Who's heard about reframing before? Oh, I got some knees. Yeah, I'm seeing some hearts coming up. We got some people that know about reframing. Reframing is when we notice. So who said it? I catch myself. Okay, Krista said it. I catch myself. So when you catch yourself and you're having that thought, you're thinking that bad thing, you're having that negative thought about your day, today's going to suck, right? I'm not looking forward to today at all. It's going to be awful. The manager is going to be there and everybody's going to be cranky and in an awful mood. And I'm not looking forward to this, right? So you catch yourself in this negative mindset, right? And what I want you to do is when you catch yourself, choose to flip it and reframe it, right? So you catch yourself, you're having these thoughts, I'm not looking forward to today. The manager is going to be there. Everybody's going to be uptight. You'd be like, nope, I'm not doing that. Cancel, clear, delete. I'm getting rid of that thought. I choose not to have this thought. I am going to have an amazing day. I'm going to have an amazing day. I'm going to go to work in an amazing mood. I'm going to shine the same way that I always do. And I'm going to be thrilled because everybody else is going to be shining their brightest as well, because the manager is coming and things are going to flow. Today's going to be a great day. Take that negative running around and flip it, right? And you might be thinking, okay, Sarah, well, that sounds really easy. That's really easy to say, but how do I actually do it, right? So let's talk about some tips about how we can actually reframe and give you some examples. First thing I want you to reframe is stop using never and always. Absolutes like never and always subconsciously block you because you don't give yourself room for change. So instead of saying, I never get a promotion, right? I haven't gotten a promotion yet. If you say I never got a promotion, you are putting out the energy into the world that you never have got a promotion, you never get it. That is what the world thinks. That is what the divine creator that is giving you the vibration that you're putting out is going to give back to you. You said I never get a promotion, and God says, okay, you never get a promotion. And that's it. It's blocked off. You're blocking your blessings. It can't come in. Energetically, it's not possible. When we stop using never and always, when we open up the possibilities, then we're opening the door, right? So instead of saying something like, people always ignore me at work, you can reframe that to, some people at work don't seem to listen to me when I'm speaking, right? And you want to use words like some. You want to use words like seem. You want to leave room for possibility and change, right? This is how we start to make this shift. Does that make sense? A lot of people use the term quantum leap, and I prefer shift because it's more of a gradual shift the way that we do it, because we do have that tug and that back and forth, right? So I like to shift into it and stopping saying never and always. Those absolutes, removing those from our life can really help us to reframe from this negative thinking, these loops, these spirals that we get ourselves into. Next tip, drop the drama. Drop the drama. Change your language intensity. Okay. Something that is a new saying, a more new saying. I don't know how new. Maybe it's old by now and I'm just old. I don't know. So I'm dead. I'm so dead. Oh my God, you're killing me, right? This is what people say. So I'm going to die. I'm going to die. I can't breathe, right? When you actually can. Don't be dramatic about it. Actually look at it reasonably and what it's like, right? This, it like, instead of saying, oh my gosh, this is the absolute worst, the world is ending, take a deep breath, right? Deep grounding breath in, clearing breath out, and say to yourself, this is challenging, but it's teaching me something, right? It's not the end of the world. It's a challenge. You're not going to die. It's temporarily inconvenient. Someone didn't ruin your day. They annoyed you for a moment, right? Don't make it more dramatic than it is. Actually take a second to look at it and look at the language that you're using about it, and don't exaggerate the negative. Does that make sense? Yeah, I got some hearts going up. So I think you guys are going with it. My third reframe that I want to focus in on today is switching what to why. So instead of saying, why is this happening to me? We're going to say, what is this teaching me? I flipped around my slide, guys. So sorry. This is supposed to say reframe from why to what. And I flipped it. Speaking of flipping things, okay, so it's reframe from why to what. So instead of saying, why is this happening to me? I can say, what is this teaching me? So in this moment, instead of saying to myself, oh my gosh, why did I mess up that slide? I'm going to say, what is this teaching me? This is teaching me to triple check my slides, or this is giving me an opportunity to show you how in the moment I'm able to switch from something that could be embarrassing and I could beat myself up from, to a teaching moment, how I can show you how you can flip something around, right? So I made a mistake. It should say reframe why to what. And then I got all confused looking at it. And I caught myself. I took a second and I started over, right? So what is this teaching me? This is teaching me to double check my stuff, maybe triple check it. I always go over it a couple times. Triple check my stuff and own it and be okay. Go with the flow, right? Everything's okay. So we're reframing why to what. Why is this happening to what is this teaching me? Does that make sense? I hope so. And I hope I didn't confuse you too much right there. And then our last reframe is flip the what if. Flip the what if. So often I do a lot of what ifing. I have my entire life. What if they don't like me? What if I don't get the job? What if I bomb the interview? What if I mess up my slide? Right? What if I give a terrible episode and nobody connects with it? Right? We're going to flip that around. So, what if I give an amazing talk that changes the life of hundreds of people? What if I go in there and I blow them away? What if I go in there and they offer me a better job than the one I applied for? What if I meet the love of my life? Instead of saying, what if I fail? Ask, what if I learn? What if I grow? What if I win? Instead of saying, what if I'm not good enough? Saying, what if my best was enough? So flipping that what if to something positive. Here's some more examples of what reframes can look like. Let's start with I am a lucky soul. That we might currently be telling ourselves, I'm cursed, I'm unlucky, I'm forsaken. That's what I used to think. In my darkest time, I would say, God has forsaken me. There is no God. And if there is a God, he has forsaken me, because who would sign up for this? Like, why would this be a gift from God, right? So instead of thinking you're cursed, instead of thinking you're unlucky, you're forsaken, anytime you have those thoughts, if there's not a situation right in front of your face that makes you feel pretty unlucky in that moment, if it's just a thought you're having, no, that's not true. I am a lucky soul. So we're reframing from I am cursed, I am unlucky, I am forsaken, into I am a lucky soul. I am a lucky girl. I am a lucky Sarah, right? Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? We're going to ask, what is this teaching me? Instead of telling ourselves it's too late, we're going to tell ourselves it's never too late. Instead of telling ourselves we're a burden, we're going to remind ourselves that I can contribute to others, right? I'm a very useful engine. I got that from Thomas the Train, and I use that all the time. I am a very useful engine. There are a lot of things that I can do. I absolutely can contribute to others, right? Which of these reframing resonates from you with you? Which do you need, right? I'm a mess. Oh my goodness. I messed that up. No, I'm a human, right? Like I said, I could be, I messed up my slide. No, I'm a human. It happens. Absolutely. I'm a human. I'm not a mess. I'm a human. That happens, right? Instead of owning anger and making it who you are, saying, I am so angry. No, you are not angry. You are love. But you're currently experiencing anger. You're currently holding space for anger. You're currently allowing anger to move through you, right? We're not going to catastrophize, right? It's not, I am angry and everything about me is angry. No, you're currently experiencing some anger, right? So we're going to calm down that language there, right? And then everything is my fault. If you tell yourself everything is my fault, you could easily switch that over to I can learn from my mistakes, right? So these are different ways that we can reframe and get ourselves from that unlucky, cursed, forsaken mindset into the lucky mindset, right? If this makes sense and it's resonating with you, type I am a lucky soul or lucky in the comments below. Throw me up some shamrocks, right? Love it. I see everyone popping on. Hello, hello. Now, after you reframe, it's important, in addition to switching around the negative thinking that we're having in our head, taking that from the negative thought into a positive thought, right? So we're going to switch it. And after we do that, we also want to add in affirmations. We don't just want to wait until a negative thought comes up to replace it with a positive thought. We want to be putting these positive thoughts in all the time. Remember, as children, by the time we're 12, most of us receive over 20,000 criticisms, pieces of negative reinforcement, right? So we need to give ourselves back the opposite. We need to give ourselves the positive reinforcement, and we need to really program in those positive affirmations. Here are some lucky soul affirmations to get you started. The first one is, I am a lucky soul. And I suggest you tell yourself this the second you wake up, before you open your eyes. Seriously, you are in a hypnotic state when that happens. So when you wake up, I am a lucky soul. I'm so lucky to have woken up again. I'm so lucky to wake up in a warm bed with a soft blanket. I am so lucky to be waking up to go to my wonderful job today. Whatever runs through your head, think of the ways that you're lucky, right? And this is just counting your blessings in the morning. You're like, this is the same thing. Yes, it is. And this is us programming us to believe that we are lucky. We are lucky. We are blessed. We are favored, right? The universe favors us. I am lucky and good things happen to me. So we wake up. I am a lucky soul. Today is going to be a lucky day. Everything is happening for me. I am open to abundance and prosperity in all forms. I am worthy of all that I desire. My actions and thoughts are manifesting luck and abundance in my life. Every day I attract more and more luck, love, and abundance. And I am thankful for the luck, love, and abundance in my life. These are just a few of the thousands of affirmations that you could choose to tell yourself, to program yourself into that lucky soul mindset. Get your thoughts and get yourself obsessed with how lucky you are, and start to put out that new vibration so you can attract that new life in. When it comes to being a lucky soul, I want you to be it until you see it. Now, remember earlier when we talked about how good you are at being delusional. You're so good at being delusional. You have convinced yourself so strongly that you cannot achieve XYZ that you haven't achieved it. Good for you. You can achieve anything you want. And this is the same thing. You need to tell yourself the lucky soul mindset. Tell yourself the lucky soul affirmations over and over again until you're able to see it in your life. And it's there, I promise you. I promise you, the more you look for it, the more you see it. Okay? It's like when you get a new car. You might have thought that you got a really unique car, right? You think that you got a really unique car, and then you buy the car, and all of a sudden you're seeing it all over the place. And you're like, wait a second. The first time I saw this car was on the lot. How in the world have I seen 20 of them in the last month? And the reason that you're suddenly seeing that car that you never noticed before is because you were never focused on it before. But it was always there. All of those cars that you are seeing now have always been on the road. You just weren't focusing on them. You weren't looking at lime green cars. You were only looking at the black cars because you have a black car. Does that make sense? So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to stay the course. We're going to keep telling ourselves this, and we're going to say, I'm being delusional. I know it, but I'm doing it because this is the vibration I'm going to put out. So this is the vibration that I'm going to call back, right? Does that make sense? If that makes sense, put be it in the comments below. As a reminder, those thoughts we're putting in our head are sending our vibes out and calling everything in. That's exactly why we're being it until we're seeing it. We're going to put those thoughts out. They start off little, the vibrations go through, but they will call it in, and you will see it. And when you see it, journal it, write it down, tell somebody about it, right? let the universe know that you've seen it, let yourself know that you see it, and that is going to increase that energy as well. This is just one tool that can bring you huge results. Let me know if you think that this tool is going to change your life. Are you going to use this? Are you going to start reframing things to turn into the lucky person that you deserve to be, that is your every right? Put reframe in the comments below if you plan on using this tool moving forward. If you want to get more of these amazing tools, there are so many more. There are so many more ways and tips and tricks and techniques to being that lucky soul. If you want to get more, I would love to invite you to my latest masterclass. I am holding it this Sunday at 3 p.m. CST, and we are doing a masterclass on having the luckiest year yet, where we are going to go over more tips and tricks and techniques that we can use to shift into that lucky soul mindset. And we're going to do a powerful process together where we get into a meditative state and envision ourselves as that lucky soul and really call it in. And when you do this in a meditative state, it's an incredible thing because you really are able to embody that vibration in a powerful way that really sends out those vibes. That magnet that we saw, we're really sending that out when we do the meditation, when we do the visualization, when we put ourselves already there in our head. We let the universe know this is where we are, this is what we'd like to receive. And it's one of the most powerful ways to shift into your lucky soul self. So if you are interested in going further, I will drop the link below for the masterclass this Sunday. After the masterclass, replays will be available. So if you can't attend Sunday, no worries. You can sign up now and access it. You'll be able to access it Monday night. And then for as long as you need to, it's going to be there. So if you would like more ways to tap into your lucky soul self, I would love to see you Sunday for that master class. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you to all the new faces, all the new people that I saw on today's live. Thank you to all of our members from Impasse Awakening that are here each and every week. Thank you to our new followers on YouTube. Thank you so much for doing this work. Thank you so much for working on yourself and raising your vibration. I know that so many of you are like me and you want to save the world and you want to help other people. And I want you to know that the most powerful thing that you can do for others is to work on yourself. Raise your vibration. When you raise your vibration, you raise the vibration of those around you. And in turn, you raise the vibration of the entire planet. This is very important work that you're doing. And I'm so proud of you for doing it. Thank you so much for being here. I hope to see you again next Wednesday. Until next time, the light in me bows to the light in you. And so I say, namaste. I love you all.